Hello, I'm Maureen Bishop and I helped to write the Lewisham Pensioners Gazette. Firstly, we have to thank the reader who made such detailed notes about the telephone scam which is featured on the front page of issue 102. I have made this recording so that our LPG readers will be a little more prepared in the event that something similar happens to any of them. The Oriental accent is mentioned, but please note that telephone scamming is a worldwide racket and that scammers have all sorts of accents. Our reader insisted that the scammer mentioned very early in the conversation that he represented the very telephone service that our reader uses. And national news bulletins mentioned that personal data had been discovered stolen from that company at about the time that this call was made. But a scammer like this will often ask you which telephone company you use in a roundabout sort of way and then claim to represent that company. Beware of the person who tells you that their records show. When you pick up the phone and someone on the other side says, "I represent so-and-so and our records show that," what they're really saying is national statistics show you are highly likely to have a computer problem, or that you are likely to have bought payment protection insurance, or that you're likely to have had an accident in the past 5 years. This is usually the introductory line. Next, you will notice that our Mr. Peter Williams gave a name, lots of ID numbers, passwords, and a telephone number. Let's see. 01576 860 705. Doesn't even exist. But beware that they often do. And what our readers should really have done is consult their personal phone bill and phone the company from the number they find there to verify all the codes and ID numbers and names that they were given. Note how precise our scammer was about the amount of junk mail and malicious files that are on the computer. He convinces the reader that their computer is not working properly. If someone is telling you what's wrong with your computer, you have to start asking questions. My first one would be, how do you know this? The next question would be, who gave you permission to spy on my computer? Because that's what they're doing. If indeed they're looking, because I doubt whether they are, they're just testing the water. You also need to ask yourself if your computer really is working that badly. Just because they say doesn't really mean a thing. Coming back to that progression of passwords and ID codes and numbers that our reader was given, I can appreciate how you would be thinking, well, he's given the right service provider, he's got all these codes, he must be the genuine article. Please don't be fooled by codes. As I said before, check by making a phone call to the company's official number. Look on your bill or even for the official sales phone number that's given when their advert comes on the television. It's so easy to get sucked in. We then get to the sweetener. By that I mean the £200 compensation that our reader was offered. Think about this. Which telephone company will give you back £200, and why would you need to have and also to give away £260 in order to receive the 200? You will note that the second amount was mentioned a lot later in the conversation. Why would you need to have more to give away than the compensation that you were going to get? That's a question to be asked. Our reader, incidentally, because of the appointment and the fact that he was going to ring back on the next day had a really good opportunity to check his story. The question in their mind should have been, why could they not have rung him? He'd given them a number. This would have given them an opportunity to check the number they were given. If you get that opportunity where they're going to call you back, it's a good idea to make sure you've got a family member or a friend or somebody there present while the phone call's being made. That old adage, 2 heads are better than one, rings very true here. Our reader did very well to remember the importance of never giving out a bank account PIN number to anyone, although other bank details were given. Please make sure that you are absolutely certain who you give any bank details to. A rule of thumb is, if you have approached a company by calling them to buy something, debit or credit card details should suffice. Sky, BT, Virgin, TalkTalk, all the big telephone companies have their own payment mechanisms in place. You already pay them for their service, and they can only get their money if they already have your payment details. So, in this particular case, no account details should have been needed. This was a really detailed scam which could have been met in the way most of these calls are, with our reader just saying, "No, not today, thank you," and putting the phone down. We wrote an article which you can find on our archive page. It's on page 8 in issue 101, which tells you all about reporting such scams. This is the best way to make sure that this does not happen to someone else in the future. Just 2 more things. After a call like this, if you put the phone down, pick it up again and then dial 1471. A voice will tell you the telephone number of the person who last phoned you and also the time of that last call, if that information is available. And number 2, I advise you to do the same as our reader. Always have a piece of paper and a pen handy so that you can make notes about what you are being told when you are not sure who is on the other end of the phone line. Remember that if you write and it's all above board, you can throw the details away. But if you don't and you need the notes later, they're just not there. And that is a missed opportunity in so many ways. I hope my notes have been of some help to you. Thank you for listening.